Hey you, welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things culture. And when we say culture, we mean work culture, the toxic, the good, the positive, and of course we talk leadership and HR. So if you're new to this channel, I want to take the opportunity to say welcome. I hope you stay. I hope you subscribe so that you will receive notifications anytime I post a new video, new insight, new tea that you definitely need to hear. I look forward to you joining this wonderful community. And for those of you who have subscribed already, thank you so much for being a loyal subscriber. And I look forward to our discussions as we continue to try to make our workspaces and environments better and being greater leaders in this world. So today, what are we going to be talking about? Well, I've been having a series of coaching sessions as well as training sessions, and one of the things that has come up quite often recently is the high performer concern. And so I want to touch on that a little bit. While a good leader should value each and every employee, it cannot be denied that there's a great beneficial asset that lies within the high performers. Our high performers are those persons that not only perform above the standard of work, but they're also super reliable, they're helpful, willing to cross outside of their traditional roles to other roles to help, and they are always there when we need them. So here's the irony. Our most valued assets are high performers, but if we're not careful, we might overwhelm or essentially hurt them by the way that we utilize them within our departments. As leaders, if we don't keep a pulse on this matter to ensure that we are valuing our high performers and keeping their best interests at hand, we can very well find ourselves in a situation where we're losing them to another company or organization because high performers who are under stress typically don't communicate that. So here is how we solve this. Here are 4 tips that you can put into place that will ensure that you continue to value your high performers, see their needs, and ensure that you don't, by your need, overwhelm them. Tip 1, delegation. Yes, your prized possession high performer may be really good at what they do, but I'm certain they're not the only one that can do it. Who else within your team has the capabilities of completing that task? Perhaps you have a new employee who has joined that has a talent that you're unaware of. Or maybe there's hidden talent within your organization and it's been a long while since you've checked. It's important to delegate, and not just to one person, but to various people within your team. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, perhaps there isn't anyone on my team that has that skill set. What am I supposed to do in that scenario? I always say that it's a very dangerous thing for a leader to have people on their team who don't have a variety of skills shared within the group. That's critically important because if that person that has that unique, or what I call a monopolized skill, is sick or leaves the company, you are putting your department in the jeopardy of being unable to perform. So the best course of action in this scenario is to create a succession plan. So point 2, succession. Where can you create succession plans for learning to ensure that those skills or those capabilities or that knowledge or insight that your high performer has isn't monopolized? So that means creating cross-training opportunities, but also having a clear succession plan on how that knowledge transfer is going to happen, how those skills are going to pass over, so that we're ensuring that we're getting a good process moving along. Another great tip: when you are assigning a task to your high performer, instead of just assigning it to them, assign it in a buddy system where you have the high performer and another employee that is working along with them. The good thing about this is they can witness firsthand what the high performer is doing in order to complete the task, which allows them to have that visual process and learning, but they can also slowly take on more responsibilities away from that high performer, and you can utilize your high performer somewhere else. Third point, appreciation, appreciation, appreciation. Sometimes we develop what I like to call the dishwashing theory, which is we are unaware of the impact of what someone is contributing positively to our life, our workspace, or within our team. The dishwashing theory is pretty simple. What it means is if someone else is washing dishes all the time and you're arriving later, you don't always see that the dishes are clean. You may put more dishes in the sink and move along your merry way. And if you do that every day and they do that every day, you are unaware of the hard work they've been doing in washing dishes until they leave something in the sink. And then you're like, oh, there's a lot of dishes, or until you're confronted. And so with high performers, we want to ensure that we are not losing sensitivity on how well they are working in the workspace and the things that they are doing, because most likely those high performers are doing not only their job, but they're going beyond their regular responsibilities. So how could you not appreciate them? Sometimes we get caught up. Sometimes we're so happy that things are running smoothly. We need to stop and take the time to say, thank you so much for the hard work that you do. Thank you so much for everything that you've been doing within the team. This is so greatly appreciated. Our fourth and final tip is check-ins. We have to schedule regular check-ins with all our employees, but especially our high performers, to see how they are doing. Statistics show that high performers usually don't tell you when they are overwhelmed, when they're burnt out, when they're feeling less appreciated. They tend to either vent it somewhere else, or they silently leave the organization, sometimes not even sharing with you the reason why they're leaving. And so it is important for you to check in to see how they're doing and how they're feeling. Our tendency as leaders are to rely on those high performers, sometimes so heavily that they become burnt out, and we don't focus on the persons that we need to continue to develop. We also need to be careful that that's not contributing to a toxic work culture, because if we continue to overload the high performer with the responsibilities and the tasks of those that are not performing, then it creates a negative work culture, and it makes the high performer resentful and puts the low performer in a comfort zone where they're not really acting or performing to their truest standards. We as leaders need to ensure that we don't neglect that need and ensure that we take our responsibility to properly coach and discipline where needed others within the team, so that we can continue to evolve and grow all performers and all employees to the levels of where they need to be. So how should these check-ins look in terms of structure? Well, one of the important things is just to ask them how they're feeling, how are they handling the workloads. It's also very good to do inventory, because as leaders, we are often lumping responsibilities on employees, but not checking to see what they already have on their plate. So asking for an inventory gives us the insight of what that individual already has, and may prompt us to look elsewhere and see where else we can ensure that that task gets done. Asking if there's anything that you can do to help support, what can we do to make the department or the team better, may allow the high performer opportunity to share some insights so that responsibilities can become more spread out. That is important always for us to do, because our awareness is critical to that process. We cannot fix or solve any challenges if we don't see them. So having regular check-ins allows us to have an opportunity to learn about potential issues that are impacting our department and how we can fix them and make them good, so that we can keep those high performers and transform some of those other employees to the high performers that they have the potential to be. Well, I hope that was helpful for you. I really enjoyed having this time with you today. Please like and subscribe if you want to hear more content about this. I want you to type in the comments also what you'd like to hear in the topics of work culture, leadership, and HR, so we can make sure that those are at the forefront, so we can provide you with everything you need to be successful and to positively impact the working environment around you. Until next time, make your mark on this world today. Bye.